All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Your brother Rabbi Matt coming out with a lesson. Lord's will is edifying to the Lord's elect. Okay, I'm just going to some news since the government just got reopened. So, you know, that puts Jake right back to sleep, you know. They're getting their benefits back. They're hearing that it's coming. So that'll put you right back to sleep. That's why we got to make sure that we constantly be in this word so we don't forget that this is not our rest, okay? And ultimately, we should reflect on, you know, the mindset we had and see how you were reacting in a time of affliction. Okay, were you relying on the Lord to make things happen, or were you relying on your government to make things happen? And either way, you know, it's only going to last but a short time. They only got a certain amount of funding until, I believe, until like January. Okay, so they just kicking the can down the road, so to speak. But there's things that are coming down the pike, like your premiums and all that. Ultimately, everything's going to be taken away from you. All right, and if you don't have your mindset in the right place, you're going to constantly be relying on this devil, and he ain't going to be able to help you. All right? Let me just see what's in the news real quick, because I ain't checked. It says government shutdown, agencies reopen, and employees return to work. Yeah, they return to work, but that don't mean the scriptures are not going to be fulfilled. It tells you in Isaiah 19 that there shall be no work for Egypt. That's going to happen, okay? It's still happening, even though he reopened and you can fly now or whatever. You know, they're getting back their, federal workers are getting back their back pay. But you still got AI. He ain't putting no bills to stop that, all right? He ain't putting any bills to stop this housing crisis. As a matter of fact, he's trying to implement a 50-year mortgage. Okay, that's not making it better. All right, so we got to keep our eyes on this. This place is gonna be destroyed, man. Eventually, the shit's gonna come to a tail end. Oh, and another thing, he supposedly wants to get rid of the filibuster, which means he don't need the Democrats. He don't have to wait for them to agree on something he wants to implement, and he's using this as an example. And it's funny how. I'm just bringing this up to show you how Esau thinks, you know? It's funny how, you know, the timing of it all. Because now you got all these emails coming out showing you that Mr. Epstein was trying to blackmail him. And if you're innocent, like you say you are, why don't you just bring everything out? You know, just show the whole world, hey, this is what it is, man. I ain't do nothing the shit they telling me about. I might have did that in the third, but you're not gonna get that from the devil, man. And why isn't there one in all the way in Shalom? Why isn't there a list with? Why doesn't Mr. Putin got a list? Where's his list at? Why he ain't on the list? As a matter of fact, speaking about Mr. Putin, it says that Marco Rubio said they put all the sanctions that they could on Russia. So shouldn't that have stopped the war? But they're saying he's getting close. He's bombing shit that they're delivering stuff to help with the Ukrainians, and they're blowing that shit up as soon as as soon as they build it up. So that goes to show you that war that's kicking off, just like it says in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. That's still happening too. So he's not stopping prophecy from happening. He's making it. He's the one making it happen. And if you're not aligned, you don't know what's going on, you're gonna be blindsided when these shit start to actually come to pass. Let me grab this in the book of 2nd Ezra. Since everybody's happy they got their SNAP benefits, yeah. Some of us don't got SNAP benefits, and we understand. We're not relying on Esau to feed us and all that shit. Hell no. We know that the Lord is giving us the ability to do all these things. Whether we have a job, whether we have money. If you eat at night, the Lord created that situation to happen. That was his foresight for you. That's why you got to thank him. And you can't go far enough to thanking the Lord, because everything that you do, if it's successful, is because the Lord allowed it to happen. Some people get up, get in their cars, and in their mindset, they think they're going to work, and the Lord puts them to death. Okay, so why not thank the Lord? Why not thank the Lord when he allows us to prosper? This is the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, and that's prophecy. All right? The storehouses, your Walmarts and all these things, they're going to be found empty. Okay? So your EBT don't guarantee you're going to have food to purchase in the stores, man. All it takes is one Black Swan event, and he's telling you to stay in your house. All it takes is one Black Swan event, and they're droning your Uber Eats to you. All right? So this place could be flipped upside down if you got that weak-ass mindset thinking that Esau's going to protect you in these last days. Your ass is going to get put to death, and I'm here to tell you, man. Okay, that's a weak-ass mindset to have in this time. So suddenly the storehouses shall suddenly be unsold. And then you can look at the American people. Look at how they act. Oh, I'm going to go in the store. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take that. That shit was only shut down for 40-something days. Okay? And during that whole time, you didn't know. You thought the next day it was going to open, and the next day, and the next day. But soon, there's going to be something that happens, and it's not going to be reopened. It's going to just be martial law. And the firefighters are saying, what's up, man? You know? It's just going to be martial law. What you going to do when you can't come out your house then? You got ICE officers I believe they got shot in Chicago. They're shooting at them in Chicago. So, long story short, this shit it's going to get wild as hell, man. But people really don't give a fuck. People don't care about losing their lives. What you going to do? Get up the next day and go to work for Esau? Go pay bills that you can't even afford to pay? Nah, you might as well hold court in the street. And that's what the scriptures is talking about. They shall not regard their kings or princes. But the princes, during this time, during this government shutdown, they had a bill to make sure that they ass get paid, though. They wanted to guarantee that. No, we got to guarantee we get paid, man. Congress, we need to get that money. They understand how important it is when it comes to their pockets. But when it comes to yours, we can negotiate that. Let's talk about this. Nah, I ain't open until we negotiate. Okay? And not that I'm a Democrat or Republican. I understand that both of them work for the man. Both sides of the party. The Democrats and the Republicans. There's no such thing as a democracy. You're being ruled by a monarchy, by Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, that's who we exposing. And we're your next rulers after him. And you don't understand that either. Lord's will be a part of that number. Ultimately is Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Let me grab this in the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 15. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe means death and destruction to the whole world. Okay? Jacob's trouble's coming. And a lot of y'all gonna be fucked up. A lot of other places are fucked up right now. He stopped funding into a lot of these areas, and they were relying on it. They had the same type of mindset that y'all Americans have. Now they're screwed. They're screwed, man. They were better off just living in huts, according to Esau, having flies be in their eyes. At least they understood they got to rely on the Lord to eat. That it's the Lord that provides for them. People act like the Greeks were the reason why we have food on the table or something, man. No, the damn Edomites got you paying for bottled water. That's why you got fucking microplastics in your brain, man. He got you paying for apples and shit that you can grow on your own land, but then he makes it illegal for you to have your own land. He wants to bunch you up and put you in the city. Okay? And that's Esau. Let me grab this in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Habakkuk. Matter of fact, let's start at the top, man. I got all the time in the day, Lord's will. Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. So you're standing on the tower, we're watching, we're seeing what the Lord allows us to see, and we're bringing it out to the nation of Israel to wake their asses up, man. Get out of this weak-ass mindset. You got your oppressor ruling over you, and his ass is about to get taken down. And if your ass is still sleeping and not getting prepared for the battle, you're going to get flooded, all right, when this devil come down with great wrath, knowing he got a short time left. When you could be in the secret place and have a defense from the Lord, okay? So we standing up on the tower showing you, getting you prepared for a battle, not to go sit down and go get your snacks and your and all that stupid shit, man. Okay? Hopefully you understand that you really can't have 100% trust in this devil, because at any time he can get to arguing with his counterparts. And that who does that affect? It affects you. But meanwhile, while they're supposed to be helping you out, they're guaranteeing money for themselves. Okay? $8 million, I believe, 500 million or something crazy. And then you should go check out that email that Duck and Mr. Epstein was talking about him. He got him on blackmail. Okay? What is he going to say tonight? Yo, if he says this, then we're going to do this and do that. That's blackmail, man. So if your president's compromised, supposedly, if a leader's compromised, man, then someone has power over them. Okay? Someone's telling them, if you don't want this release, I'm going to need you to do A, B, and C. And that's how wickedness can thrive. That's how you can have a list like that, where a lot of officials, high-level officials, are on that list. Wouldn't you want to expose that so we could start clean? The scriptures talk about how you can't make a unclean thing out of a clean, or a clean thing out of an unclean. Okay, no one can do that. If it's established on wickedness, it ultimately needs to be destroyed. You can't create something clean out of that. You got to destroy the foundation. Imagine building a foundation on something that's rotten. No, you gotta get rid of the rotten foundation and then build it on a sure foundation. That sure foundation is the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that's not his role to implement that. Okay? That's why he's the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And I'm running like Paul Revere telling the nation of Israel, get your ass up, because the so-called white man about to come down with great wrath because he know he got a short time left. When you run that readeth it, making it plain is making it simple. Okay? Making it very simple. Because, you know, it's in English, you got to go into the Hebrew. We do all the work to make it plain so you actually know what's actually written, so you can go learn for yourself, so you can run that readeth it. So you can go tell the next Israelite that who the devil is and who he is according to the Bible. Because you got to understand it. Okay, you can make it plain. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. The vision, the destruction of Babylon, America, that's for an appointed time. Okay, and that time is getting closer and closer to the end. We're starting to see it. Even though he might have healed this part of it so far, y'all get to eat for a couple months. But guess what? You're going to be begging. As soon as he starts talking about, yeah, we're thinking about doing this, that, and the third, we're thinking about taking away your benefits. If you want to avoid that, why don't you take this chip? We're going to make it digital. We're going to make it digital. And since you always got your damn hand out, your ass is going to take the MOTB like a fool. Okay? Because only people with wisdom are going to actually survive this. And wisdom comes from the Lord. It's a gift. People with faith. Okay? And those are the only people that are going to survive. The rest of these people, majority of them, they believe in idols, so they're going to die. They don't believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, so they're going to die. And they believe in the so-called white man to provide for them. When all provision is actually coming from the Lord. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. That's right, it will surely come, it will not tarry. The storehouse is being closed, martial law, Jacob's trouble, the MOTB, digital devices, the civil unrest, civil war, all these things are coming to pass. It's not going to tarry. It's not going to take a long time for these things to happen. And if you're in the mindset of the world, then it's easy to get into the mindset of the world, man. Every day you get into the mindset of the world. Your default is the world, okay? You're going to constantly go into work. You got to go to work. You got to feed. You got to be around your kids. You got to be around over here. You got to do this and do that and do this. And then you get put to death. When you can take the time to see what the Lord wants you to do the will of the Lord, and he might have mercy on you. He might have mercy on you, especially in the times that we're about to get into. Like I was saying with Russia. All right? They don't care about your politics and your stupid-ass EBT cards. They're going to keep going to war, keep wiping out those Ukrainians. They're going to be going into Poland. They're going to be going into your town, man. They're going to cut up your kids into pieces. You worried about the wrong thing. Even though during this time, you were sustained. How was that? Because of the Lord allowed you to be sustained. Okay? But Esau, he's coming to an end, man. He's coming to an end. He's trying to implement his NWO, and it's not going to come to pass. You read Job, the 5th chapter, talks about his enterprise. That enterprise is him trying to establish a wicked society perpetually by putting that device in you. And if you believe in an idol, you're going to take that shit. That's why most of the heathen, they follow this devil. That's why they got democracies in their country. Okay, but we're going to be going to a monarchy. Okay, starting with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yeah, his soul, Esau, Edom, his soul is not upright. He's not doing anything righteously. Okay, everything he does it has a wicked twist. He perverts it in order to benefit him in some way that's wicked. Okay, in an adverse way to the law, statutes, and commandments. It's all to try to get you to stay captive to him. That's why this is the only way the so-called white man can rule in a society that's super wicked. Where you have to be nice to this nigga. Okay? In order to get a job, you gotta be nice. You gotta be sweet. And this nigga killed your whole family. Get the fuck out of here. Killed your whole generation. And he coming back with the sword in the last days to kill you off too. You thought it was done with your ancestors, got you speaking a different language, got everyone saying they this, that, and the third. And we supposed to be kissing his ass. Get the hell out of here. It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. He said, but the just shall live by faith, man. We don't live by faith. The just ultimately are the elect. They ain't gonna be living by faith. They ain't gonna be living by the provisions of the so-called white man. No, they're gonna believe and trust that the Lord's gonna provide for them in these last days. That's living by faith, by having the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible. All right? Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's right, he is as deaf, he enlarges hell. He puts hell on y'all, and he's going to increase the hell on y'all. And he is as deaf. Deaf can never be satisfied, okay? That's all he does is bring death. Everything he does brings death, okay? It don't bring life, because he don't operate under the law, statutes, and commandments. You read the book of Habakkuk, Baruch, it tells you that this is the book of life, roughly paraphrasing. The law, statutes, and commandments. This is what leads you to life. He don't operate under that vibration. You can see it by those white boys with these trucks. They got fucking skeletons and shit on the back of their trucks because they're spiritually wicked. Okay, that's why their houses got skeletons and stupid shit for it's November. They still got that shit up. Excuse me. They still got that shit up, man. Because they're wicked. They worship death, man. Their gun, that's their sword. Just like that emblem that you wear that you think is a cross, it's actually a sword. You worshiping Esau. Okay, that's how they slain the Lord. They crucified him on that. And you walking around with the murder weapon, like fools. Imagine someone kill your son, and you walk around with a Glock 9 as a damn fucking, to remember him. That's foolishness. It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against them, and taunting proverb against them, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay. Yeah, you look at that word thick clay, it's talking about his debt. He goes into debt, man. He puts y'all in debt. How long are we gonna have to stay in this, under this devil? How long, man? Now we can't hasten in the day, but like he said, it's for an appointed time. It will not tarry. Wait for it. The Lord's long suffering. He's teaching us how to long suffer. All right. Sometimes you got to do that. Habakkuk chapter 2, and verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Yeah, you're gonna be like a booty spoiled. Eventually, Esau's gonna be the booty. Okay, when you destroy a nation and you take all their resources, you take everything they got, and that's what happened to us. We were destroyed. We lost the battle, man, and ultimately we lost when we started transgressing these laws. Esau's nothing without. You don't have a nation if they don't follow their own laws. You start breaking your own laws, that's how your nation, and Esau breaks his own laws too. Not just the law statute, he breaks his own laws, man. Because he's a fool. Oh, I can just rewrite this and rewrite that. You're going to be rewritten. You're going to be destroyed. You're going into captivity. You're going to be a beast. We're going to brand you. You're going to have a mark. We're going to brand you with a mark. Okay? It's the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Yeah, because of the blood. You go to Numbers, the 35th chapter, it goes into how recompense is going to be paid back to blood that defileth the land. Okay? I'm all right.
Here you go, buddy.
I don't need it.
Have it for later. Here.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. What is it? Ham and chicken?
Something like that.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank
That's
you.
okay. God love you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Gave me some ham and chicken, man. That's the spirit. There's a homeless guy. Every time I'm out here, he out here all the day long, man. All the day long. I see him out here. He in the rain. He probably like 70 years old, man. But he be seeing me out here, man. He just gave me a ham sandwich and a chicken sandwich. You ain't supposed to eat pork, but who knows, man. The Lord, I'm gonna have to go throw it in the trash. But the Lord, you know, he sees these things, man. It's all from the heart, man. You know, it even tells you in Matthew, I believe, the 10th chapter, a man that give a prophet a bottle of water, he gonna remember that. Let me grab that. Matthew chapter 10, and verse number, in verse 42. It says, and whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. So the Lord might bless him for the chicken sandwich. Maybe not the pork, but it's all the heart. I'm gonna throw it in the trash. I don't eat food from homeless people. But hey, man, that's the spirit, man. If the Lord will give you something. I wouldn't be surprised. Some of y'all that don't have this truth, man. You might be starving, and he might hand you a pork sandwich, man. You know? What are you gonna do? Eat it? If you had the right mind, you throw the pork out and eat the bread. Even though it's defiled, but we understand we'll have to eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. Without that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, he might put you to death. Just for transgression of the law. Not that eating pork is punishable by death, But your disobedience is he understands why your why you do the things you do. Okay? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 9. Woe to him that covereth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. That's what he does. He has an evil covetousness. When you covet something, you're willing to take it by violence. He covets land, money, resources, and he's willing to come take it by the sword. Okay? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 10. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. That's right, you sinned against your soul. You cut off many people. You came against the nation of Israel. You had a perpetual hatred, and that's why the Lord got vengeance against you. That's why he got indignation against you. Look how you treat your own poor. That's a poor so-called white man. Who knows? He's suffering the curses here for Deuteronomy. He want to help somebody out. But he might not be. Who knows? It don't matter what your color is. It's if you believe in the Lord or not. If you believe in Yahweh, if he gave you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding or not. If he's going to sustain you or not. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 11. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Yeah, the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Okay, that's his idols that he sets up, or the different statues that you see. When you look into the history of it, it's something wicked. It's something that he stole, and he puts that, and he puts it in a park and exalts it. Okay, they speak against this devil. This nigga's trying to build the Ark of Titus by the White House, man. If you have any understanding of what that is, it's when they took down Israel, the Lord's chosen people. He wants to put that by the White House, calling it the victory or some other shit. No, we know what that is, man. Okay? His triumph for over 70 AD. He understands he couldn't have any of this if he wasn't allowed to go into that temple. The Lord allowed him to go into there. He could have defended it. The Lord could have just simply did what he did to the ancient Assyrians. He sent one angel to destroy 185,000. Now he got to send the whole host of heaven to destroy these heathen down here. To show how meaningless and they're not powerful at all. Okay? Habakkuk, chapter 2, in verse number 12. Woe to him that buildeth the town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. And that's what Esau, that's how he established this city, America, Babylon. Okay, with iniquity, with lies, with robbery, with deceit. That's how all this was established. He claims to sit down and be a judge. This nigga ain't no judge, man. He's a fool. He's a fool, and he's about to get judged. All right? He's about to get judged. I was just thinking of a precept. I was reading. Oh, it was 1 Samuel chapter 1 Samuel 8, I think I was reading this morning. Samuel was about to give, the nation of Israel was crying for a king. And let me grab it. I already forgot it and just read it too. But I thought it was profound. Sometimes when you read the scriptures again, it just opens you up to something. I think it's 1 Samuel, the verse I want to get. He was basically telling the nation of Israel that they were asking for a king. And he was like, what did I do to you to be asking for a king? If I robbed you, I'd pay you back. But, bring the proof that I did something to you for you to be asking for a king. He kind of took it upon himself that he was doing something wrong to the nation of Israel. But it wasn't him. It was actually the nation of Israel wanting to be more like the heathen. Okay? It's not Samuel doing anything wrong. But the point I want to bring out is he says something about judgment that's profound to me. And I want to share it. Let me see, the book of Samuel, chapter 8, I think I was reading. No, it's 7. It's 1 Samuel 7. Yep. I think it's in verse 10. Yeah. This is the precept I was thinking about. 1 Samuel 7, verse 6. And they gathered together to Mizpah and drew water and poured it out before the Lord Yahweh and feasted on that day and said, there we have sinned against the Lord. And Samuel judged the children of Israel in Mizpah. So when you look at that word judge, he judged the children of Samuel in Mizpah. Okay, it goes into judgment, but he didn't destroy Israel. Okay, he judged them. But when you look into that word judge, it goes into vindication. He vindicated them. They repented of their sins, and he judged them with vindication. Okay, sometimes when you go to court to get judged, judgment's not always you're gonna get locked up, you're gonna get put to death. Judgment can work in your favor if you get it not guilty. And that's what the elect are gonna have, man. They're gonna get judged too, but we hope to get that exemptment from judgment, ultimately, to be found innocent. Okay, and the only way you can be found innocent, in just like in this case, is by that repenting. 1 Samuel 6, verse 7, and when the Philistines heard that the children of Israel were gathered together to Mizpah, the lords of the Philistines went up against Israel, and when the children of Israel heard it, they were afraid of the Philistines. And the children of Israel said to Samuel, cease not to cry unto the Lord our God for us, that he will save us out of the hand of the Philistines. And that's what we're doing today. We understand through the prophecies that Esau is the modern day Philistine. He's the modern day adversary against Israel that's going to be coming down against us. And we crying out to the Lord in hopes that he'll deliver us in these last days, just like he did before. And this is a scenario. 1 Samuel 7, in verse 8, and the children of Israel said to Samuel, cease not to cry unto the Lord our God for us, that he will save us out of the hand of the Philistines. And this is why we pray in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua through the Son. They had to go through Samuel in order to be a mediator, and Yahushua is our mediator. So that's how your prayers are going to get heard. You got to have the right name. 1 Samuel 6 and 9, Samuel took a suckling lamb and offered it for a burnt offering holy unto the Lord Yahweh. And Samuel cried unto the Lord Yahweh for Israel, and the Lord heard him. Yeah, and the Lord heard him. You had to put up a sacrifice. And then you got to think too, why he didn't pray for everyone to have peace and be one, like this devil be telling you about. Okay? Because he don't want to be judged. He don't want to hear the words of the Lord. He wants you to be a docile idiot. So you can think that, so the Lord can't defend you when and the Lord give him permission to come destroy you. Okay? And the Lord's going to give him permission to destroy those who don't have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. 1 Samuel chapter 7, in verse 10, and as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to battle against Israel, but the Lord thundered with a great thunder on that day upon the Philistines and discomfited them, and they were smitten before Israel. That's right, he thundered. Okay? As a matter of fact, let's look that up. Let's look that up. I'm curious to see what they think about that. 1 Samuel 7 and 10. 1 Samuel chapter 7, verse 10, meaning of thunder. There's some context here. The Lord thundered against our enemies. It says, this verse takes place when Israel under the prophet Samuel had repented and turned back to the Lord Yahweh. The Philistines came to attack while Israel was worshiping, but God himself intervened through a miraculous storm of thunder. The thunder here symbolizes divine intervention and power. It represents God's voice and judgment manifesting in nature, terror and confusion for Israel's enemies. The thunder wasn't just natural, it was supernatural, aimed at striking fear and scattering the Philistines. Damn. That must have been some crazy ass thunder, man. That must have been some crazy ass thunder, man. That struck fear in the Philistines. I've heard some crazy ass thunder before, man, but thunder from the Lord? Come on, man. It's gonna make you think. Maybe we shouldn't be going, maybe we shouldn't fight against them. And you know, these men were spiritual, way more spiritual back then. They probably thought they prayed and did their sacrifices to their gods. They thought they had the go-ahead to win the battle. So they're coming with confidence, and then you hear the thunder. Like, hold on, nah, that ain't for us, man. Hey, that's the Lord. That's what he can do for you. Okay? Terror and confusion for Israel's enemies. The thunder wasn't just natural, it was supernatural, aimed at striking fear and scattering the Philistines. God fighting for his people. Israel didn't win by military strength, but by God's direct action. It says thunder in the Hebrew is ra'am, meaning to thunder, tremble, roar, make a loud noise. It often expresses the voice or power of God in Scripture. Give me a couple of verses, so it makes sense. 1 Samuel chapter 7, verse 11, and the men of Israel went out of Mizpah and pursued the Philistines and smote them until they came under Beth-kar. So then they pursued them and smote them. Okay, so this is why we got to trust and wait on the Lord. All right? He's gonna be fighting for the nation. You're going to know in these last days not to, it tells you in they should envy, the heathen shall envy thee. I believe that's in the second chapter. Basically going into how the favor of the Lord is going to cause those to envy you. Time of nothing but affliction. People are going to see that the Lord's dealing with you. All right? It's not going to be, it ain't going to be no mistake about it. You're going to know who the Lord's chosen are in these last days. They're not going to be operating like the rest of this world. They're going to be on a whole different vibration while everything's chaotic. It's going to seem like they're in the middle of the storm and y'all are getting tossed to and fro with the wind. All right? Because they're standing on the Yahweh Jim Yahushua. Y'all standing on some faulty foundation. You're standing on Esau's foundation, a rotten, wicked foundation where that they ain't going to sustain you. With his foolish knowledge. All right? 1 Samuel 7 and 12, then Samuel took a stone and set it between Mizpah and Shen and called the name of Ebenezer, saying, hitherto saith the Lord helped us. That's right, the Lord helped us. Ultimately, it's the Lord giving us the victory, all right? He's the one that's creating the situation, creating the path for success, the road to victory. And ultimately, he already put all these heathen underneath our feet, if we're part of that number. You got to endure to the end, though, and see it manifest itself in front of you. And a lot of these victories, they're going to be plain as day. Isaiah 59 and 19, you're going to see it with your own eyes. When he lifts up a standard. The standard's already been lifted. You wouldn't be here in this day if the Lord ain't lift up a standard. This devil always trying to kill your ass. He's always trying to put you to death, man, and you're still here. So don't think when the devil comes down with great wrath like a flood that the Lord ain't gonna lift up a standard against him. When Esau's gun don't work, he the one of the weakest men. That's gonna give you ability to put him, who knows, man. Get the fucking him up. Some of his military, they fat, they out of shape. He might give you the W right there. Shit, you might be fat and out of shape, and he's skinny. The Lord might allow you to crush him. You might be a spirit created for vengeance. You might just fall on him. He might give you the upper hand. Okay? But we already got the victory because of the Lord. That sacrifice that he made for the nation of Israel allowed us to get back right with the Lord. And this time, that's why we got the name again. And you got to thank the Lord for that, which is Yahweh Shai. Ultimately, Yahweh sending his son and creating his son to be perfect, to be that lamb. He's the only one that could have done that. Jake can't do that, man. Even though Jake loves his people, it's still just the flesh, man. The flesh will get you to somewhere down the road. You will slip. Ah, shit, man. I wanted to, but the nails, man. I was looking at the nails, man. The nails were this big, man. I couldn't do it. Peter even thought he wasn't even going to deny the Lord, and he did it. It's the flesh. And Peter's King David through the Spirit. It ain't nobody mightier than King David, man. Other than the Lord, of course. All right. It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 7, and verse 13. So the Philistines were subdued, and they came no more into the coast of Israel, and the hand of the Lord was against the Philistines all the days of Samuel. So that's right, the hand of the Lord was against them. And the hand of the Lord is against these heathen too. And anybody that come up against the nation of Israel ultimately is elect. The Lord going to be lifting up and standing against them. He was a judge just like the 144,000. They're judges. They're the next judges and rulers of the earth. Okay? That's the elite. Okay? This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 7. In verse number 14, and the cities which the Philistines had taken from Israel were restored to Israel, from Ekron even to Gath, and the coast thereof did Israel deliver out of the hands of the Philistines, and there was peace between Israel and the Amorites. So with war, then comes peace. And that's what the Lord's going to do. He's going to bring the war, he's going to subdue our enemies, and then we're going to have everlasting peace. Okay? But before that day comes, we gotta endure it. All right? But just like I was saying, man, if you falling asleep because you got a couple $100 on your government card, man, that ain't the mindset to have, man. That ain't the mindset to have. You gotta be prepared for the time that's coming ahead of us. Esau wants to take away your faith, man. Ultimately, that's what he's here to do. He wants you to have complete faith in him, like he's your God. He's the one who made it happen for you to eat. He's the one who saved Thanksgiving this year. So when you do eat, you celebrate the fall of the nation of Israel in a couple of Thursdays from now. Thanksgiving, the fourth Thursday of the month. When you eating, when you give a sacrifice to your false god, you celebrating the death of the Israelites, Gad more specifically, Gad and Simeon and Israel, the northern kingdom. You're going to be thinking about Esau and how he made it happen for you. And guess what? It's only temporary, and your actions are going to be weighed much more severely now. All right? Because the Lord, when the time comes and Jacob's trouble comes, you're going to be more prone to go to Esau for help. A lot of y'all are praying to Jesus Christ anyway, going to the church. Oh, please, Lord, put some stamps on my card so I can feed these children. So you go to church every Sunday praying to the so-called white man so you can put food on your table. He's going to put food on your table so you can commit more wickedness. Matter of fact, I just did a video last night. Somewhere, I forgot where it was. Dudes were selling drugs They were taking EBT as a payment. All right? So this place is through. It's through, man. You can buy drugs with an EBT card, man. This place just gets worse and worse and worse. It's gotta be destroyed. Jake always finds a way to do evil, man. As a matter of fact, what's that precept I'm thinking about? They know how to do evil, but not good, KJV. I think it's Jeremiah. Yeah, they're wise to do evil, Jeremiah 4:22. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Jeremiah 4. Jeremiah 4, verse 22. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. So they don't have any knowledge to do good, man. How to implement the law, statutes, commandments, I don't know. But I know how to sell drugs and take EBT for a payment. That's foolishness, man. They're wise to do shit like that. But when it comes to repenting and serving the Lord, they don't know how to do that. They don't know how to walk uprightly. They don't know how to treat their brother with love, man. As a matter of fact, let's go there. 1 Corinthians. Actually, what was I was reading 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 3. 1 Corinthians 3. And is it 3? It might be 2 Corinthians 3. 2 Corinthians. That's funny. I think homeless people think I'm homeless. Man. That's the spirit, man. That's the spirit. The scriptures talk about the poor, and some people be dropping change off. I know I don't look. I probably don't look too good, man. But hey, I'm all right, man. I got the Lord. I'm all right. You know, I got a roof over my head, man. But I think through the spirit, you know, people just, I don't know, they think you're poor, so we are poor though. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, and where is this precept, man? I can't find it. I'm gonna have to go on my phone. It basically talks about charity. And when you look at the word charity, it goes into agape. Agape goes into the brotherly love. Brotherly love is keeping the law, statutes. It is 1 Corinthians 13. Oh, I put 3. I meant 1 Corinthians 13. It's a short chapter. I'm going to read it. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or tinkling cymbal. Yeah, you can speak with tongues, meaning you can speak different languages of other people. Not that a boo-boo gobble gobble shit y'all be saying in the Christian church. That don't mean you're speaking with tongues, you fool. Okay, speaking with tongues means you're speaking a different language. Someone came up here and I'm speaking English, but he might not understand English, and I start speaking Spanish to him, so to give him the name of the Lord and things like that. That's me speaking in tongues. Right? So you got to get the proper understanding of what speaking in tongues is. Paul's saying to the church of Corinth, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or tinkling cymbals. That's right. You're just making noise. Okay? You're just making noise if you don't have any charity. Okay? Going back to that word agape, going back to a brotherly love. Okay? You got to have that. And this is a charitable thing to make your body a living sacrifice for the nation of Israel, for the elect, for the Lord's sheep. Okay? By you following the law, statutes, and commandments, and making other people, provoking them to righteousness. Okay? That's brotherly love. And that's what Yahweh Shai did. By him walking in the law, statutes, and commandments perfectly, he left you an example on how to be in these last days. How to get the victory. He showed you how to do it. And he suffered unto death too. For righteousness' sake. You got to have that same type of mindset when it comes to this wicked and evil world, man. This wicked and evil generation. And he told the people, don't cry for me, man. Y'all about to go through it, man. He about to get crucified telling you don't cry for him. Okay? That's the type of mindset Yahweh Shai had. He knew that everything that was being put upon him was coming from the Lord. He even told Pilate that. Okay, you can do nothing unless the Father allow you to do it. So you got to have that same type of mindset. These tribulations, these afflictions that we're going through, ultimately they're coming from the Lord. So you want to develop that relationship with him, so in a couple months from now, when he takes your benefits away again, you ain't tossed to and fro. You ain't ready to go rob a bank, rob a store. He gonna sustain you. Don't worry, I got you. I wasn't worried about none of this shit that was happening. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit that's going on in the news. If Putin want to blow this place up, I'll be clapping for him. I'll be clapping, man. Blow it up. I don't give a shit about none of them damn Europeans killing each other. Let them, I don't care. That's the Lord, man. That's the Lord doing all these things to manifest what he said it was going to happen. World War III is coming anyways. If you can't sustain what's going on now, it's going to get worse. The book, 1 Corinthians 13:2. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. That's right. You can prophesy, you can do all of that. You have not charity, you nothing. Going back to the word agape. Going back to the word love. Going back to keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. Going back to Yahweh Shai. Okay, you gotta follow Yahweh Shai, man. All right. 1 Corinthians 13:3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Right. You know, all these afflictions I go through, if I have not charity, it profited me nothing. Okay, prophesying, all that. You know, helping a brother out when you can too. That's part of charity too. Okay? But not all the time, you know. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. But if you do got it and you can, it's good to do that. It's good to do that if you can. Especially if it's in your heart to do so. All right? This is the book of 1 Corinthians 13:4. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. That's right. Charity is not puffed up. So it's not just giving things to brothers when they ask for it. Okay? Envying. That be going on, man. Being puffed up. That be going on. That's not charitable, because your brother shouldn't be acting like that, man. You teach other, the way you act is the way you put other brothers to act. People will follow you. If you're a lazy, slothful person, that's what you're putting on other people. You're making it seem like it's okay to be like that. If you're puffed up, you're making it seem like it's all right to be puffed up. It's not. Okay? You should want to be like Yahweh Shai, who was humble, who was meek. You know? Cared about the will of the Lord and things that pertain to him. His Father's business. That's what he was about. Okay? That's charitable. When the Lord's not being exalted, the nation ain't, Israel's not being, it's not going to be exalted. right? And the Lord is definitely worthy to be praised. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Do not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil. Okay, that's charitable. Thinketh no evil. So it's a mindset too. Okay, ultimately it's you fighting your own demons first and then teaching brothers to do the same. And you'll be more effective when you do that because it's in you. You already won those battles that other brothers can't get through. Just like Yahweh Shai, he won all the battles. He's been through the flesh. He understands. And he got the flawless victory. Okay, but through the spirit, our battles that we win, and we can teach other brothers how to get through those battles. All right, which is could be charitable to them, which goes back to agape, which goes back to love. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Verse 6, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. That's right, rejoiceth not in iniquity. Iniquity is sin. Okay? Sin is the transgression of the law. Okay? So, we don't rejoice in that, in our transgressions of the law. We rejoice in the truth. Ultimately is we're boasting ourselves in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. He's the one who gave all the victory. He's the one who's saying these things are going to happen. He's the one that's going to exalt the nation of Israel. He's the one that's going to win the battles for us. And we're giving him all the glory. 1 Corinthians 13 and 7, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. That's right, we endureth all things. Okay? So you got to know these scriptures so someone can't manipulate you. It says right here, supposed to help me out. Charity, you nothing if you ain't charitable. Hold on, let's keep reading that. Because I could have been charitable to you the whole time, and now you just robbing me. It could be. It tells you in 1 John chapter 4, verse 1, you got to try spirit by the spirit. And it starts that you knowing this truth. There's demons out here, man. And if you're a weak idiot, you could be fooled. You could be fooled, man. It don't matter who knows the truth, man. You better know it. You better know it better than anybody knows it, man. Because this is what's going to be used against you. That's how Esau's going to get you. He's going to tell your pastor to tell you. Bring out Romans the 13th chapter. Tell you go take the MOTV and you're going to do it because it's written. But ultimately it's because you're a fool and you don't know the scriptures. He's hitting you with the slave doctrine and you still believe in that bullshit. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 8. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. Let's look that up. 1 Corinthians 13 and verse 8. So some things are written, man. You be like, what? Whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Huh? I knew this wasn't the truth. And that's because a demon. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 8 meaning. You gotta exhaust all your resources. This verse is part of Paul's famous teaching on charity, which is love, in 1 Corinthians 13, often called the love chapter. Here, Paul contrasts temporary spiritual gifts like prophecy, tongues, and knowledge with eternal love. Charity never faileth. Charity, agape, means divine, selfless love, the kind of love that comes from God and seeks the good of others. Never faileth means love never ends, collapses, or becomes useless. Even when spiritual gifts cease or fade, love endures because it reflects the eternal nature of God. Prophecies shall fail. They shall fail. Prophecy here refers to the ability to reveal or declare divine truth. Fail, katergeo, means to be rendered inoperative, to be done away. This means that one day prophecy will no longer be needed, because when perfection, the fullness of God's kingdom comes, revelation will be complete. Tongues they shall cease. Tongues speaking in other languages by the Spirit, to step or come to rest. The gift of tongues was temporary, serving as a sign for unbelievers, but not an everlasting gift. How you doing today, sir? Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm just reading the Bible. You ever heard of the nation of Israel?
Who?
The nation of Israel. The Israelites.
Who hasn't?
You never heard of the Israelites? In the Bible. Yeah.
You know, I've seen it on it before. How long? I've been wondering why you're always so long.
You know what? It's the Lord. The Lord has me alone right now. Sometimes it's not always a bad thing to be alone.
No, it ain't. I know what you mean.
What?
Got a camera.
Hey, I try, man. I try to upload some videos to help people out.
What you need is what I need.
What you need?
I need a vacation.
Yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, you too, man. You too. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse. So, charity never fails in love, man. Okay, it's good to have that love. The prophecy is going to be fulfilled, but love is going to endure. And we're going to have that love in us, which is the keeping of the law. We're never going to go off. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and verse number 9. For we know in part and we prophesy in part. That's right, we know in part and we prophesy in part. Okay? A lot of us made videos about how your staff of bread was going to be broken. And now he's reinstating your staff of bread. Does that mean we're false prophets because of that? No. Because your staff of bread's still going to be broken. Okay? But we know in part and we prophesy in part. If we see, hold on, this is matching up with this scripture right here, we're going to say it. We're going to bring it out. That's what you do when you're standing on a tower. You see somebody out there, and it might not, oh, hold on, y'all blowing the trumpet now. Oh, no, that wasn't nobody. That was something else. Oh, okay. But we saw you. Every time Esau poked his head out to fulfill prophecy, we're going to see it. Whether it be the famine of the word, famine of bread, okay, World War III, the MOTB, we're going to blow the trumpet. Okay, because the scripture doesn't say this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. No, we got to watch and see. Okay? But at the same time, it's still a sign that the Lord closed down the government for the longest time it's ever been. All right? And just because your EBT work don't mean food's going to be in the stores. All right? So you got to be prepared for all these things. He might say, you know what? Don't worry, I'm putting 1,000 credits on everyone's EBT card. On me, I got some private investors that they're gonna pay you. I'm gonna get the money. That's what Duck likes to say now. Where you gonna get the money to do that? I'm gonna get it. Don't I always get it? That's what he says now. He don't even tell you where he getting money from, man. Probably from that crypto exchange he got. He got that Asian dude Z. He got him out. The Binance funder. Binance is up thousands of dollars now. That shit was dirt cheap. I remember that shit was like $300. Oh, damn, I'm going over. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 10. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away, which is when the prophecies are fulfilled, ultimately when Yahweh Shah returns. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. That's right, we put away these childish things because we're growing in the spirit. Okay? The lust of the flesh, man, you gotta fight that. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity. So Paul's saying faith, hope, and charity. He's saying charity is greater than faith and hope, man. Ultimately, it's the love. Okay? Ultimately, it's the keeping of the law. Ultimately, it's Yahweh Shai, man. All right? You gotta love the Lord, man. And he tells you, if you love me, you keep my commandments. But I'm going to hear Lord's will. This is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Baka, Kodash, Shalom, Abad Babal, and Kwam Yasharala.